Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about Persona 4 Golden and kind of the situation around it. So, a lot of people had speculated, that Persona 4 Golden would be coming to consoles and whatnot alongside Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. And it wasn't necessarily a bad assumption, honestly, because pre-orders were not available for consoles until literally just a couple days ago. So people had speculated that the Midnight Collection, which includes Persona 4 Arena Ultimax and Persona 4 Golden in it, that is available on Steam because Persona 4 Golden was already ported to Steam, so that collection, of course, makes sense for it to be on Steam. But people had speculated, because not being able to have pre-orders on the console versions, why were they holding out for? Well, people thought that maybe the Midnight Collection was actually going to be coming to console, which I think does make a lot of sense for people to assume that or to believe that. But just recently we had all of the, Arena Ultimax, all the platforms it could go to. It's available for pre-order now, which it's interesting because the Persona 4 Golden stuff isn't on there. The Midnight Collection is not something you can get on the console versions. So we're left in a state where it seemed like something was going to happen and then it didn't. I mean, typical Atlus thing, but literally they held off on a very long time on having those pre-orders there. We also had seen that there was supposed to be updates for certain, playlists that they had on the, AtlasTube channel and a couple of different channels. We had speculated that there was going to be something there, or a trailer or something like that, maybe for the Midnight Collection, talking about how it's available for everywhere. But still, like I said, none of that stuff ever came there, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Now, I've always been a person who thinks the idea of having a Persona 4 Golden port would be a cool thing. I definitely think I would try and snag it on the Switch or something like that. I probably wouldn't play it on PS4 or anything like that, because I play my PS4 on my desk. I also have a PC at my desk, so there's almost no reason for me to do that, but having it portable would actually be pretty cool. I definitely would like to have that. We know it could run on Switch, it ran on Vita and everything else, so we know for sure that it could be something that could run on the Switch, and people even right now are playing the game on the Steam Deck. I think they have some ways they get around being able to play it on the Steam Deck, but I don't think just immediately the Steam Deck works for it, because something with the Steam and everything else, it's not compatible. But there are ways to do it. You can play it on the Steam Deck, which is pretty cool, having the game portable. But I think a lot of people are looking after trying to get it on Switch, which does make sense. I think a majority of people who play a lot of the Persona games and whatnot, Strikers just came to Switch, SMT3 came to Switch. I think there is a decent audience there for the game to be on Switch, and of course, obviously on PS4, PS5 as well, which does make a lot of sense. Like I said, though, Atlus being Atlus, we never 100% know for sure. A good idea might jump out at them and they just don't bite, they don't go for it. Which, to be fair, it's their company, it's their thing to do. If they don't feel like doing that, maybe they're moving on past Persona 4 Golden. Maybe they don't think ports are as important, but still, I think there might be some hope for Persona 4 Golden jumping to other stuff. And I'm not trying to sit here and be, port beggar. Everybody kind of hates that idea, but I'm just doing some speculatory thinking here. And honestly, like I said, I played Persona 4 Golden on Steam. I actually enjoyed it a lot on Steam. The best way to probably play it, I would argue, is on Steam if it doesn't crash for you and whatnot, because some of the ports there are bad, but just being able to have it portable would still be cool. But I think Persona 4 Golden does still have a chance on jumping there, because not only was it a long time for it to have console releases and stuff like that, they are adding an extra date to the Persona 25th anniversary. If you didn't know, there was supposed to be 7 anniversary things, which is going to give us that Persona Times thing where Teddy would come on stream and he would talk to us and whatnot, and basically that video just give us a rundown of everything that we're kind of getting for that specific announcement of the 25th anniversary. Well, they added an extra one in, and I believe we're supposed to be getting another one in April. It's supposed to be the next Persona 25th anniversary, which potentially we could see something there, but I have a feeling maybe it's going to be around June, similar to what happened, I guess, 2 years ago. I mean, my god, this has been a while, but around June is when we ended up getting Persona 4 Golden on Steam. So potentially they could be just trying to wait till they get around that time again, maybe like a 2-year Steam anniversary, and have it jump to consoles or whatnot. Because I know that Midnight Collection would be nice for that, but the thing is that also gives me some doubts is the fact that you can get Persona Arena Ultimax pre-ordered for certain consoles and whatnot that's supposed to be jumping to, that leads me to believe that, you know, if they end up putting Persona 4 Golden to consoles and whatnot, that you already just bought Arena Ultimax and potentially just wasted money, because I think the Midnight Collection is kind of a little bit cheaper because you're bundling 2 games together. It's on a little bit of a discount doing it that way. If you end up getting Persona Arena Ultimax on something else, and then Persona 4 Golden eventually comes out for that, you could have just got the Midnight Collection, but you already bought Ultimax, so it doesn't make sense to buy that. So you could potentially lose out on some money just because they waited so long on doing that. And at this point, you know what? It probably wouldn't put it past them for trying to do that. Maybe they were holding off quite a while because it just seems strange for how long they waited, and the updates on things, Twitter, stuff like that, Teddy talking and different stuff. It just seems like there was supposed to be something else, but it just wasn't there. And then adding another date to the 25th anniversary during this current, you know, past one that we just had, this Persona Times, it just seems all a little bit too convenient, you know what I mean? It seems like there's supposed to be something else there. I think a lot of people do genuinely need this port. I'm not necessarily saying that it's just for the Switch people, but I think the people on the PS4 and PS5 will be a majority of the people that play it. And, you know, it's similar to like the, you know, Switch thing where we have Strikers on there but not P5. It's just such a weird thing how they'll put certain things to certain consoles and it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would they do that? I mean, now we're having Arena Ultimax on stuff that doesn't even have Persona 4. It's so strange to think that that's technically a sequel. There is story elements in there and development for characters in there, but you don't actually have the beginning base game where all the characters are in there, where all the character stories and arcs start. I mean, there's already a lot of development that you see within Golden, and you're missing out on that development because you just found out couldn't play the game. It's unavailable on the thing that has Arena Ultimax, which is so strange. Like you'd assume that they could have done something about that, but they didn't, which is so strange to think about, that you're playing a sequel to a game, yet the base game isn't even there. And this is also a port. It's not like it was like Strikers, which is a brand new game, and you know, maybe deals and things are met with PlayStation where Royal had to stay on there. Strikers comes out, well, Strikers was like a third-party thing, they could do what they want with it. But no, but this is Persona 4 Golden, which is a old game, and Arena Ultimax is also a port. So you can put ports of old games on there potentially more likely than like a brand new game that hasn't had any licensing deals or anything like that at all. But even then, I don't think Persona 5 Royal probably has any licensing deals. I think they could probably do whatever they want with the game, at least at this point or at this stage of where they are with the games. I mean, they do typically do licensing stuff with like Shin Megami Tensei when it comes to Nintendo. Other than SMT3, of course. SMT3 is the big outlier when it comes to that. SMT3 was kind of a beast of its own, which one of the few reasons I really like that game. But there still could be a chance of it coming there. I do think the port is needed for lots of people, and I think that's sort of my stance on this. I'm not necessarily saying that Persona 4 Golden is for me, but I think it is for a lot of people needed. Which is kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video. Just a little bit of a follow-up, I guess, of where things kind of stand with Persona 4 Golden. It's not much further from where I guess we've been when it comes to getting a port. It's still a very big question mark, but with weird small things that hint at stuff that either we can read into it a lot, and you know, you see people on Twitter reading into things a ton. I mean, you could see how badly things got shut down at that, you know, Persona 25th Anniversary Times, the recent one, where people totally thought something was going to happen and even had little hints towards it. You know, the store glitching out, having the Midnight Collection on there for consoles and everything. Nothing happened, though. Nothing happened, and here we are with pre-orders on console, which means, you know, like I said, either they still plan to do it later and you're just going to lose out on money because you couldn't get the Midnight Collection pre-ordered, or maybe they're going to wait till just about at the release date to do it. It's so hard to say exactly what's going to happen. Arena Ultimax is super close. At this point, you might just have to buy Arena Ultimax and just hope maybe later Persona 4 Golden jumps over at some point. I mean, who really knows? I do know a lot of people who play Strikers on Switch that have never played Persona 5. Isn't that just kind of, doesn't that blow your mind a little bit how that can happen? I mean, we're still at a gray area when it comes to Persona games, current ones anyway, getting ports. We're the 25th anniversary, we're 3 whole bits in. We're 3 out of 8 right now in terms of the announcements that we're getting for the Persona 25th anniversary. It was 3 out of 7, but like I said, they added a new one, which is another big mystery, another big gray area as to why they might have done that. Just because they added a new one towards the end potentially might just mean that they pushed some other stuff back and that something is going to be coming out potentially in the middle of it. So just because they added an extra one doesn't necessarily mean it's at the end. It could be anywhere within the anniversary there. They might have just needed to slide another announcement between the middle of everything. So who really knows? I think a lot of people need this port, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about this. Do you need it? Do you think other people need it? What do you think the odds are of this happening? Does all this randomness about Persona 4 Golden mean anything to you? Do you think people are just reading into it too much? Because I think some people are reading into some things too much, and then there's other things that people do not look at all and somehow get completely, you know, just looked over, even though it seems like it'd be something, you know, that would hint towards something. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about this. Like I said, I personally think I don't need it, but I know a lot of people do, and that's what matters, is everybody getting the game and everybody playing it, because it's a really good game. I really do enjoy it a lot. I thought it was one of my favorite Meg 10 games, at least in terms of story and characters. It's phenomenal, and the music phenomenal. Persona 4 Golden is so good. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. As always, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.